What's going on, people? This is your boy Lou coming at you real quick here. Gonna be a video on my thoughts on Raw. I'm not gonna really review the whole show. I'm just gonna go back and pinpoint a couple of things real quick that I really thought they did well, and I'm gonna pinpoint the things that I think were nothing but huge clusterfucks of shit. Alright, now the show starts off here with a opening segment. The first thing I want to talk about is the opening segment, just because stupid. Alright. First of all, having everyone on the walkout, I can understand that, and I thought that was good. I didn't really think they were going to pull that off. And once I actually realized it was a lockout and everyone was out, they were just out back and shit, they weren't going to come in the building. Like, you kind of knew that something was going to happen. You knew that Triple H at that point was going to either quit or someone was going to take a spot. Someone was just going to, overthrow him or something, whatever. Alright? So you have John Cena come out, sucker up to him. Sheamus comes out, suckers up to him. CM Punk comes out, suckers up to him. They end up having a match. It was John Cena versus Sheamus. Triple H is the referee. CM Punk is the commentator and the ring bell guy and the timekeeper and every other job you could possibly imagine. Even the camera guys probably do. Who knows? Yeah. Segment lasted all of what? At least the match itself, what, a couple of minutes? Went to commercial break, came back. You got Vince coming out, interrupting, and Laurinaitis is the new COO, Raw GM, whatever the fuck you want to call it, because they've called him many different things throughout the show. So basically what they've done is they've given us this ball of shit in John Laurinaitis, thinking that he's going to improve the show in some fact, whether they realize or not that he has not improved anything in developmental to bring anybody good into the company. What good do they really think he's going to do being on a show? He can't talk. He sounds horrible on the mic, period. I don't care how you look at it. He was never a draw. He was never good at anything in his whole freaking career. This guy does not need to be on TV. I do not want to see him on my TV set. He sucks. Fuck John Laurinaitis, brother. I would have much rather get the NWO 4.0. Yes, the NWO 4.0, brother. Just without, Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan is doing the Sting versus Hogan. And Bound for Glory, dude. Brother. Dude, brother. Dude, brother, brother. Dude, brother. I really would have taken the NWO 4.0 over this shit. I really would have. Vince McMahon coming back as a face did nothing. There was no build for it. I mean, of course it was going to be random, but this is completely stupid. It was the beginning of the show. Vince should at least came back as a heel. And it could have been at the end of the show where Miz and R-Truth came out and assaulted CM Punk and Del Rio towards the end of their match when they're both all beat up and shit, so they both look good, you know what I'm saying? And then you could have had Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis walk down the ring, and then they could have had the beat down. John Cena could have came out, they could have beat down John Cena, and whatever, and you would have had the NWO 4.0 holding their hands held high. Yeah. Oh, NWO 4.0, brother. But yeah, so that was basically the opening segment. Like I said, Laurinaitis is the new interim COO/GM, whatever. Next thing I want to talk about on this show is the fact that Air Boom has tag team music now. Yay! They've only been a tag team for like how long now? And they basically just took their entrances and just kind of smashed them together. At least now they're wearing, somewhat of a matching attire. They kind of look like a tag team when they have their own tag team music. This Mason Ryan face turn, I liked Mason Ryan when he came in originally. I really thought he was going to go far. I would have preferred to see him come in as a heel, but they can always turn him heel later on, so people really hate him. I'm hoping for a huge push for Mason Ryan. I think he's a decent wrestler from what I've seen of him. So you know, I like to see more of him, and let's hope that, you know, WWE gives him a good push and he goes to the top. Now, I still have no idea why the hell Dolph Ziggler is with Jack Swagger, with Vicky Guerrero, and all this shit. I still don't understand this. I don't know why Dolph Ziggler is competing in tag team matches when he holds the United States Championship. That's never on defense anymore. That's the only complaint I really have with this segment, is the fact that he's on a losing team, and he's got a singles belt that he never defends. He's never in singles matches. The Divas match was scrutiny. Ass smacks and moonsaults do not make a match. I'm sorry. Alright, the return of Miz and R-Truth in the last segment of the show. I know I probably skipped a couple of things in the show, but I really don't care at this point. Because you had CM Punk and Del Rio, which was a decent match. The crowd was kind of into this match. They weren't really into the rest of the night. They were barely into this one. Horrible crowd, by the way, in this arena. In the middle of the match, John Laurinaitis comes out because it's Del Rio versus CM Punk, you know, which they're off of Hell in a Cell, you know, and the way Del Rio beat CM Punk wants revenge. And next thing you know, him and Del Rio are in a tag team with each other, facing the returning Miz and R-Truth. Which I'm all for the Miz and R-Truth return. I predicted that. Laurinaitis and Mia Cahoots with them. I mean, Vince isn't in there, at least not yet. Neither is Kevin Nash. I predicted Kevin Nash too. I forgot to mention him earlier. Well, I still have to see about him. Or Vince. Maybe Vince will turn heels sooner or later. Who the hell knows? But we had R-Truth and Miz come out, so now it becomes a tag match. So Del Rio and Punk's match never finished, and then become tag partners, reluctantly tagging each other in. Eventually, Del Rio fakes a knee injury, and, you know, ends up being escorted by his ring announcer, fucking Ricardo Rodriguez, out of the ring and up the stage and all that bullshit. And then you have CM Punk, who takes the advantage. It looks like he was going to pull a Superman move like John Cena win, because, you know, he is inducted into the Super Friends officially. Officially, as of the first segment, Sheamus and CM Punk are now in the Super Friends with Triple H, John Cena, and Randy Orton. Okay, so that's officially all the Super Friends right there. There's probably going to be more inductees later on down the line, but it's official now. CM Punk and Sheamus are officially in the Super Friends. Super Friends, go! Yay! And if people don't believe me, that's fine. I'll prove Sheamus on a later video. That's a SmackDown thing. But CM Punk, alright, he didn't even get pinned here. Alright, he did not get pinned. In the situation as it stood, he should have lost. It was a 2-on-1. Alright, this is what happened. Obviously people watched it, but for it to go between Del Rio versus CM Punk, which is announced, which they had heat coming out of Hell in a Cell, the way, you know, Del Rio beat CM Punk and all that shit. They're in a match. They get halfway through the match. It gets interrupted by Laurinaitis. Becomes a tag match with the returning Miz and R-Truth versus Del Rio and CM Punk. We all knew, you know, CM Punk and Del Rio weren't going to work. Del Rio walks off, fakes a knee injury. CM Punk wins via disqualification because because Miz and R-Truth can't beat his ass? 2-on-1? Whatever. You know, it just proves he's Superman. He couldn't lose legitimately. He won via a DQ because he was too good, because he could beat two guys. That makes him part of the Super Friends. Super Friends, go! In terms of the match quality, all the matches were pretty much mediocre. Even Punk versus Del Rio, it was decent. I think I'd have been more into the crowds more in the match and the other matches. The crowd was dead tonight. That kind of killed it for the show, so I really couldn't really get into the matches and the guys. It was kind of hard to tonight. So, that being said, I'll take a look back and say I'll give the show a C-. There was a lot of clusterfucky stuff on the show. It was very poorly booked. There was too much overbooking. It was nothing but clusterfuck shit. It was a good Crash TV. Reminds me of the Attitude Era, except the Attitude Era had good Crash TV at least. So, yeah, well, the Attitude Era was perfect. So there you go. But overall, you know, I watched it. You know, it's like I fell asleep or, you know, I couldn't finish watching it without, you know, being bored to death with it. It kept me watching, you know, it kept me wondering what was going to happen, and I'm still intrigued on what's actually going to happen if they actually follow through
and end up going the right direction with a lot of things they're doing right now. And I've spoken about this in previous videos, so I have plenty of things to watch for, so let's see what happens. This is your boy Luke, this is Wrestling 2 101. Leave your thoughts in your comments below, hit the subscribe button. You know what it is. I'll be back later on. I'm going to make a video on TNA and Bound for Glory and the lack of build for it, lack of announced matches, things of that nature. And Sting! This is Hulk Hogan! That Bound for Glory, brother! Watch out for that video, dude!
You know, then of course, you know, you knew that after the beatdown, you know somebody was going to come out. And we have Triple H, you know, who just runs out to the rescue. And at the end of it all, it's just about Triple H, of course, because it's Triple H, because he's the man, brother. I don't know who's worse, fucking Triple H or Hulk Hogan. Damn. I think Triple H is just mad because John Cena's about to break, or has broken, his record of titles he's held in terms of World Heavyweight Championships and WWE Championships in the WWE. A little bit of a grudge there, I think. Maybe. Now, one last thing that we did get announced by John Laurinaitis after the ending segment that it is going to be CM Punk and Triple H versus R-Truth and The Miz at Vengeance. So we do have another match announced for Vengeance. Thank God we're adding to the damn card. Finally! This is your boy Lou. Peace.